My name is Sarah Whitmore, and the moment my sister told me to clean again, I realized I didn't live in that house. I worked in it. I had spent the entire morning scrubbing floors, wiping counters, folding laundry that wasn't mine. The place looked perfect, quiet, clean, untouched. Then the front door slammed open. Lena walked in, heels clicking, dragging mud across the floor I had just mopped. She didn't even look down. "Sarah," she said casually, dropping her bag, "clean this again. You live here for free? You have to work." My parents were sitting in the living room. They heard her. They laughed. Not loud, not cruel, just enough. Just enough to tell me they agreed. I stood there, still holding the cloth in my hand, staring at the mud spreading across the floor. No one said anything else. No one corrected her. No one looked at me like I mattered. That was the part that stayed. Not the words, the silence after. I had moved back in 6 months ago. Temporary, they said, just until I got back on my feet. But temporary, in my family, always came with conditions no one said out loud. Lena had the bigger room. Lena had the car. Lena had the freedom. I had chores. I had rules. And apparently, I had a role. I put the cloth down slowly. Didn't argue. Didn't react. Because for the first time, I understood something clearly. This wasn't my home, and I didn't owe them anything. I walked to my room, picked up my bag, and left. I didn't slam the door. I didn't say goodbye. No dramatic exit. No final words. I just walked out. The air outside felt different, lighter, even though I had nowhere to go. I sat in my car for a minute, hands on the wheel, replaying the sound of their laughter in my head. Not loud, not aggressive, just dismissive, like I didn't matter enough to take seriously. That part hurt more than anything Lena said. I started the engine and drove. No destination, just distance. At the next red light, my phone buzzed. Lena. Of course. I let it ring. Then a message. "Where did you go? The floor is still dirty." I stared at it. No concern, no question, just expectation. I almost replied. Almost. Instead, I locked my phone and kept driving. 15 minutes later, I found myself pulling into a place I hadn't thought about in years. A real estate office. Glass front. Clean signage. Quiet. I sat there for a second, engine still running. Then I turned it off, grabbed my bag, and went inside. The receptionist looked up. "Can I help you?" "Yes," I said, my voice steadier than I felt. "I need to speak to someone about selling a property." She nodded and gestured toward an office. "Do you own the property?" I paused for just a second. Then I answered, "Yes." Because, technically, I did. And the moment I said it out loud, everything started to shift. The agent's name was Mr. Dalton. Late 50s, calm eyes, the kind of man who didn't rush his questions. He gestured for me to sit, then folded his hands on the desk. "What property are we discussing?" I opened my bag and slid the documents across. "This house," I said. He glanced down, then looked again, slower this time. "This address," he murmured. "This is currently occupied, correct?" "Yes. And you are the listed owner." I nodded. "Transferred to me 3 years ago." He raised an eyebrow. "Through inheritance?" "No," I said. "A direct transfer. From my grandmother, the only person in that family who never treated me like I was temporary. She didn't announce it, didn't make a scene. She just took me to a lawyer one afternoon, signed a few papers, and told me, 'Some people need to learn what things cost.' At the time, I thought she meant money. Now I understood she meant something else." Mr. Dalton flipped through the documents again. Title deed, transfer record, signature, all clean. "All right," he said slowly. "If you're looking to sell, we can begin the process immediately. Have you informed the current occupants?" I shook my head. "Not yet." He studied me for a moment, then gave a small nod. "Then I would advise doing so soon." I stood, gathering the papers. "I will," I said. Just not the way they expected, because for the first time since I moved back into that house, I wasn't the one being told what to do. I was the one making the decision, and they had no idea what was coming next. I didn't go home that night. I checked into a small motel 10 minutes away. Nothing fancy, just quiet, just mine. For the first time in months, no one knocked on my door, no one called my name from another room, no one expected anything from me. My phone buzzed 3 times before I even sat down. Lena, then my mother, then Lena again. I didn't answer. I let it ring. Let it stop. Let the silence stay. By morning, there were 7 missed calls, and 1 message from my father. Where are you? No concern, no apology, just control. I showered, got dressed, and went back to the real estate office. Mr. Dalton was already prepared. We can list it by the end of the day, he said, but before that, we need to issue formal notice to the occupants. Formal. That word felt right. Do it, I said. He nodded. They'll have a limited time to respond. After that, we proceed with showings. Showings. People walking you through that house, looking at the rooms, measuring the walls, deciding its value. I almost smiled, because for the first time, it wasn't them deciding mine. By afternoon, the notice was sent. Official, documented, delivered. I drove back to the house just before sunset, not to go inside, just to watch. The front door opened fast. My mother stepped out first, paper in her hand, confusion already turning into something sharper. My father followed, Lena right behind him. They stood there, reading, again and again, trying to understand, trying to make it make sense. I stayed in the car, engine off, just far enough away that they couldn't see me clearly. But I could see them, and for the first time in a long time. They didn't look certain. My phone started ringing before I even pulled out of the street. Lena. I let it ring once, twice. Then I answered. What is this? She snapped immediately. No hello, no hesitation. What kind of joke is this, Sarah? It's not a joke, I said calmly. Silence. Then, louder. You sent a legal notice to this house? To us? Yes. You don't own this house, she said, almost laughing now. Are you actually serious right now? I looked at the steering wheel, fingers steady. Yes. Another pause, longer this time. Then my mother's voice cut in from the background, sharp, controlled. Put her on speaker. I could hear movement, fabric, footsteps. Then, Sarah, my mother said, tone suddenly softer, measured. What exactly are you trying to do? There it was. Not anger, strategy. I'm selling the house, I said. Nothing. No one spoke. For a second, it felt like the entire world had paused with them. That's not possible, my father said finally. You don't have the authority. I do. You're confused, my mother added quickly. You must have misunderstood something. We can talk about this properly when you come home. Home, I almost smiled. I'm not coming back. Silence again. Different this time, heavy, because something had just shifted, and they could feel it. Lena's voice came back, tighter now. If this is about yesterday, you're overreacting. Just come back and we'll fix it. Fix it. Like it was small, like it was nothing. It's already being handled, I said, and before they could say anything else, I ended the call. Because for the first time in my life, I wasn't asking. They didn't wait long. The next morning, I woke up to someone knocking on my motel door. Not soft, not patient, sharp, repeated. I didn't need to check to know who it was. Sarah, open the door. Lena, of course. I sat up slowly, letting her knock again. Then my father's voice, lower, controlled, but strained. We need to talk. Need. Not want. Not please. I got up, walked to the door, and opened it just enough to see them, all 3 of them. My mother stood slightly behind the others, eyes already scanning the room like she was trying to assess the situation before speaking. You've made your point, she said quickly. Now, let's end this, before it gets unnecessary. Unnecessary. Like legal notices were accidents. Like this was a misunderstanding. It's already done, I said. No, my father cut in, stepping forward. It's not. You can withdraw it. Call whoever you spoke to. Fix this. Fix it. Always that word. Like I was the problem that needed adjusting. You had no right to send that, Lena snapped. We live there. I looked at her. You stay there. Her expression shifted. Just slightly. You live there for free, I added quietly. Just like you said to me. Silence. That one landed. My mother stepped in then, voice softer now. Sarah, listen, whatever this is, we can figure it out as a family. Family. Now it mattered. Now I mattered. I held her gaze. Where was that yesterday? I asked. No one answered, because they didn't have one, and for the first time, they weren't talking over me, they were waiting. They tried everything after that. Calls, messages, showing up again, different tones, different strategies. Lena started with anger. You're being ridiculous, she said in one message. You can't just throw us out like this. My father tried control. This will get complicated for you, he warned. Legal processes aren't as simple as you think. And my mother, she switched to something softer. Sarah, we're worried about you, she wrote. This isn't like you. That one almost made me pause. Not because I believed her, because I recognized it. It was the same line she used every time I stepped out of the role they gave me. This isn't like you, meaning, this isn't who we allow you to be. By the third day, the tone changed again. Shorter messages, less certainty. Then finally, can we meet? And talk? No demands, no instructions. Just a question. I agreed. We met at the house, not inside, outside, on the driveway where I used to stand holding grocery bags while Lena walked past me without offering help. They were already there when I arrived, waiting. That was new. My father spoke first, but his voice didn't carry the same weight anymore. We didn't know, he said, about the ownership. I nodded once. I know. My mother stepped forward slightly. Your grandmother, she never told us. She didn't need to. Silence, then Lena, quieter than I had ever heard her. So what happens now? I looked past them, at the house, clean, still, just like I left it. It gets sold, I said. And for the first time, they didn't argue. The house sold in 11 days. Cash offer, above asking. No negotiations. Clean. Just like everything else I had done. They moved out before closing. No arguments. No last-minute scenes. Just boxes, silence, and a driveway that looked smaller without their certainty filling it. I didn't go inside while they were packing. I didn't need to. That house had already stopped being mine a long time ago. Now it was just finished. On the day of closing, I stood in the same real estate office where all of this started. Same desk, same calm voice. Congratulations, Mr. Dalton said as I signed the final document. I nodded, pen steady, no shaking, no second thoughts, because this wasn't about money. It never was. It was about something much simpler, knowing my place, and deciding it for myself. After everything was done, I walked out into the afternoon light, phone buzzing in my hand. A message. My mother. We didn't think you'd go this far. I read it once, then locked my phone. Because that was the difference between us. They thought I wouldn't. I didn't need to prove anything anymore. I had already done the one thing they never expected. I stopped asking. And when you stop asking, people who were used to controlling you don't know what to do next. I got into my car, started the engine, and drove away. Not from the house, from the version of myself that stayed.